Right. So the different kinds of inhalers are important for different kinds of patients. It's very important for patients to be able to use their treatment correctly, because only when they use it correctly and they like the device will they continue to take it on a regular basis, and will they get their medicines. So for us, offering two different inhalers, different styles, different way of using it, is very important to offer choice to patients. There are some slightly different characteristics. For example, the strength of breathing that is necessary to trigger the release of the medicine is different from the different devices, and that may be important for patients. And also the handling of the device itself is slightly different. So there's distinct advantages, offering choice for patients and prescribers, reaching more patients and guaranteeing compliance. Right, so for us it's very important to consider that people have access to our medicines. On a day-to-day basis we talk about health insurance systems in Europe and in the Americas. But really what is of additional interest and very important in the symposium is that people who cannot afford in normal ways our medicines, like through an insurance company, that they also will have access to better treatment. In the symposium the topic was diagnosis, because good treatment and prevention of disease and prevention of worsening of disease starts with good diagnosis. But we also have internal projects to see how we can provide access to our medicines. This is surprisingly difficult. The medicines need to be approved. The countries in which we want to approve it may be in different temperature zones, and our products may not be suitable for that. And then you have providing physical access to the product and the cost of providing the product to the patient. But these are projects that we're looking at. To begin with in the area of neonatology, but we're also starting a project in respiratory to make our existing medicines available to people who currently do not have access. So it's very important for us. We're getting support from the foundation, that is also part of the Chiesi family, if you like. So this is one of our long-term projects and interests. So, I mean, for us, the rare disease area is relatively new still, but almost without exception, these rare diseases have high unmet need because there's been very little research into these diseases because they are so rare. Fortunately, the regulatory system has recognized that and is now allowing easier and better ways to do studies in rare diseases than for non-rare diseases. So they allow, without reducing the level of evidence, they allow us to conduct the studies in different ways. For example, after the initial evidence of a drug working in rare diseases in a relatively small population, to allow the product to come on the market to be used in a broader population across the world. Because only in that way will you get significant data to know whether it works in the broader population. So they give provisional approval to allow broader use, and you can use that data, which is we call real-world data, because it's no longer in the clinical trial, it's used in the real setting. And we can use that data to further gather evidence whether the drug is really effective and safe or not. So regulatory rules help. And then most governments have also recognized that there's a need for these drugs to be developed. And they give additional advantages for bringing new drugs in rare diseases to the market. So, for example, you get a little bit longer protection for your drug in the market, so the price will not be eroded so quickly as for other medicines. So there's also economical stimulus to develop new drugs for rare diseases. And with both in place, regulatory support and economic stimulus, and the interest of our company to develop new drugs, this is how we started our work in rare diseases.